Now it's time to talk about The Walking Dead. Lots of people have been talking about the show, now it's my turn. The Walking Dead is a show about zombies. That's what it is. It takes place in, I guess, Atlanta, Georgia, and its surrounding areas. And it's about zombies and people running away from zombies. And some other stuff, but that's the general premise of The Walking Dead. Now, I'm going to get into some spoiler-heavy stuff later on, but I'll tell you when I'm going to do that. But right now, I'm just going to give you my general opinion on the show. I watched the first 5 episodes of the first season like a year and a half ago, and I didn't dig the show. I wasn't super into it. But people keep talking about how fantastic the show is, and people saying that the ending to the second season is just the best thing ever. And so I gave it a chance, and I'm glad I did. And the second season came out on Netflix, so I started watching that, and I started just knocking them out and just you know, saying, okay, I'm going to watch this show, I'm going to give it a chance. And I'm glad I did, because the show is really good. The second season completely changed my opinion on The Walking Dead. Over the past 2 days, I've watched the entire second season and the first 2 episodes of the third season, and man, the show's good. Yeah, it's not the best thing on television, but it's pretty darn good, and I don't dislike it anymore. Thank you, people who forced me to continue watching the show, because it's good. For those of you that have not watched the show yet, I'm about to get into some spoilers. I like the show. I don't love it, but I do really like the show. I'm really into it now. I'm gonna watch it every week. It's a good show. It definitely picked up in the second season. I loved the second season. I didn't like the first season, but I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it all that much. And the second season was really good, and I'm really into the show now. So that's my spoiler-free review of The Walking Dead. I didn't like the first season, but I loved the second season, and the third season's really good so far. So, that's my review. Now I'm going to get into some spoilers. I'm going to explain to you why I didn't dig on the first season, and I'm going to have to spoil some stuff to explain that. I think the reason I didn't like the first season of this show all that much is because I wasn't super into the characters. I didn't like the characters all that much. It's not that they were like bad actors or anything. All the acting is really good, but I just didn't dig on the characters. I wasn't super crazy about. Some of them I just didn't find interesting. It's like they rounded up just some like random people from Atlanta, Georgia, and were like, hey, we're gonna do a television series about you. How's that sound? You're gonna run away from some zombies. They felt like normal people, which is okay, but they weren't all that interesting to me, so I wasn't super crazy about the characters in this show. It just took me a while to warm up to them. It took me a while to like all of these characters, let's just say that. And then obviously, when you've got a show that's kind of like a horror, thriller, drama thing that's got going on, you're going to have like some of the bad jump scares and things like that. So there's things about the show that even to this point I still don't like. Jump scares to me aren't scary. They do make me jump, but that's not why I dislike them. I just am not crazy about the jump scares. So in this show, there's sometimes you're like, alright, it's completely obvious, like when something's going to jump out. Just based on the camera work, you can time exactly when a zombie's going to attack somebody, and sometimes that kind of bothers me. You had your jump scares and little things like that bother me, but I think you also had kind of just these typical Survivor show, movie characters and situations and things like that. I think the first season of the show kind of followed along the same lines of what Lost did, and even in the second season there's things that I think were very similar to just kind of the same conflicts and formulas of Lost. The characters fit into kind of just typical survival characters. I mean, and not only that though, but the conflicts between people are always, in survival shows, just, they just annoy me to some extent. It's just like, alright, we get it, you're on an island, or we get it, you're in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, but stop bickering about stupid crap. It's like a power struggle with all survival shows, and it's not like The Walking Dead's fault or anything. Lost did this too. It's just like, they argue about stupid crap, and I'm just sitting here going, oh, like, this is, and I realize you need conflict, but it was just kind of like, what, who cares? Like, stop arguing about this. And so there were things about The Walking Dead that I went into just going, about in the first season. But again, I'm really into this show now. I'm just giving you my reasons for why I didn't like the first season. I mean, my opinion of it's completely changed, but I still just didn't dig on the first season. I'm telling you why. But my opinion's changed, so The second season of this show changed my mind, and here's why. I think the second season of the show is where the conflict becomes not just about the zombies. It started getting more about the characters and the plot than the first season did. I think the plot of the second season stopped relying on we need to survive from zombies. Yes, they're still surviving from during the zombie apocalypse, but it became, you had some interesting plot twists, especially the moment that grabbed me was when you find out that there's the walkers in the barn. That was awesome. I think that was a really good plot twist. It makes you interested in what's going on other than just the zombie apocalypse. Little interesting plot twists like that are what makes audiences really like, oh, I have to keep watching this. And so I think they did a better job of doing that. Not that I need like a bunch of just plot twists and things like that, but they gave me a reason to keep watching the show other than just to watch zombies eat people in the second season. I started to warm up to the characters, I started to care about the characters, and then when they started introducing these little twists, I cared about the characters, so I cared about what was going to happen next, and that's when I really got into this show. The second season of this show is really good. I know people complained about the first like 6 or 7 episodes. I loved them actually. I think it was because I was watching them back to back so I could find out immediately what happens next. And so people who are watching that week to week, I understand if you wouldn't care for the first half of the season. But I happen to really enjoy the first half of the second season. I enjoyed the first half of the second season more than I did the entire first season. I think it has a lot to do with the characters. I just really love the direction that they took all of the characters, especially guys like Daryl and obviously Shane and Rick. I mean, that whole conflict. When that conflict comes to a head in the field, you're so glad that they spent forever building up that conflict. I think in the second season you had the character development finally paying off, and I just really enjoyed that, and I really enjoyed the second season, and the third season's been really interesting so far. I'm interested to see what happens with Rick and just the way he's changed over the past like 3 episodes. His character's going in an interesting direction. Anyways, that's my review of The Walking Dead. I really enjoy the show. I like it. I don't love it. I don't think it's the best show on television or anything, but it is definitely worth watching. Hope you guys liked this review. If you did, hit like below and click subscribe above and go check out some of my other reviews. I mainly do movie reviews because I know a little bit more about that, but I do watch a lot of television, a whole lot of television. So I'm going to do television reviews on occasion. Anyways, I think the only other television review I have up is Dexter, so go check that one out. Thanks for watching, guys.